Okay guys, in this lessons right here, I'm going to show you how to graph parabolas in factor form. Okay, so we learned how to graph in vertex form, standard forms, and now factor form. This is the third. This is the third different form. Okay, so in factor form, the equation looks like this: y equals to a parenthesis x minus p parenthesis x minus q. Okay, and a, it tells you the directions of the parabola. If a is positive, it's opening up. If a is negative, it's gonna open down. And what this equation usually give us is the x-intercept. We can find the x-intercept without showing any work. Okay, like vertex form, we find the vertex without finding any work, without showing any work, and then standard form give us the y-intercept without showing any work. So this one, the advantage is getting the x-intercept without showing any work. Okay, so go ahead, copy down the slide. Now we are moving on to number 1. Okay, so here that is a factor form. Step 1, what we do is we identify the x-intercept right away. And to get the x-intercept, it's always the opposite of, you set it equal to 0, x plus 4 equal to 0, so x equal to negative 4. And then same thing on the other side, x plus 2 equal to 0, x equal to negative 2. So my x-intercept are negative 4 comma 0 and negative 2 comma 0. Now we're going to plot the points onto our graph, and it's at negative 4 and negative 2. So negative 2 is right here and negative 4 right here. So now we have the x-intercepts. And by looking at the graph, since this rate is negative, then a is negative, that tells me the graph is opening down. So that also gives me a clue that my vertex should be somewhere up here, okay? Not down here, because down here is going to be facing up. So keep that in mind, okay? Okay, now we're going to find the vertex. To find the vertex, we need to find our axis symmetry. And remember the axis symmetry, what it does, that it divides the x-intercept into 2 halves, like this. So my axis symmetry is x equal to negative 3. Okay, now I'm going to get this negative 3 right here, because remember, once we get the vertex, we always get the AOS, right? But then now we have the AOS already, then that means our half of our vertex is negative 3. So we're missing the other half, okay? To find the other half, all you have to do is get negative 3, this negative 3 right here, and plug into x. So that's what I'm going to do. So y equal to negative 3 plus 4, negative 3 plus 2. So y is equal to negative 3 plus 4 is 1 times negative 1. This is negative 1 times negative 1, which is positive 1. So our vertex is negative 3 comma 1, which makes sense because if it's at the bottom, I mean it's below, the x-intercept is going to be facing up. So that is our graph right here. Okay, from here we can get a lot of information. For example, since the graph is facing down, we know we have a max, right? And the max is at 1. And a y-intercept, the rule is, remember that to find the y-intercept, we always let x be 0. Okay, so we'll plug 0 into the equation. So y equal to negative 0 plus 4, 0 plus 2. So y is equal to negative 4 times 2. If you multiply all of these out, you get negative 8. So my y-intercept is at negative 8, 0 comma negative 8. Okay, domain. And we talked about this from the previous chapter, and I'm bringing it back to help you guys remembering it. So domain, notice if we highlight the graph, the left and the right, it keeps on going towards the left, it keeps going towards the right. So the domain is negative infinity to positive infinity, okay? And range is highest and lowest, right? So our range is going to be highest is at 1, and it keep on going towards down. It's be negative infinity, comma 1, and bracket. Okay, that's number 1, completed, okay? Now, before you copy down my number 2, try to do it on your own and see if you get the answer. And once you're done, then play the video and see if our answer match, okay? So basically try to do it on your own first, okay? But here's how you would do number 2. So to find the x-intercept, I'm going to set this equal to 0, set that equal to 0. So x equal to 5 and x equal to 1. 5 and 1. Then I'm going to draw in my axis of symmetry, which is at 1, 2, 3, 3. So that means x equal to 3. I found half of my vertex, okay? And my x-intercept is 5, 0 and 1, 0. Okay, so now I'm going to get 3 and plug into my original equation. So y is equal to 2 times 3 minus 5 times 3 minus 1. So that's going to be negative 2 times 2, which is negative 8. Okay, so my vertex is 3, negative 8, which is, again, makes sense because if it's up here, then you're going to have a facing down parabola, which does not make sense, right? Because A is positive, so that tells you it should be somewhere below the x-intercepts. So 3, negative 8 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, mine's right here. So now I have a parabola looking like this. Okay, so my parabola's done. To find max or min, since the graph is facing up, I have a min at negative 8. Okay, I forgot domain and range on this one. Domain and range. So domain is going to be negative infinity to positive infinity, and range is going to be from negative 8 to positive infinity. Okay, and the y-intercept. So the rule is let x be 0. So let's do that. 2 times 0 minus 5. And if you multiply it out correctly, you should get 10. So y-intercept is 0, 10. Okay, and that's how you do number 2. Have fun with the homework.